All right. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. Tonight, it is the last Monday of the month. Let me share the screen. We normally on the last Monday of the month do a push to emerald call. I thought that it would be more beneficial for us. We have done a bunch of those in the past, and I know that right now I really want to dig deep into what happens with people, when they fall off. How do people fall off? How do they fail? How do they, inevitably, the only way to fail in this business, just like in your fitness, is to stop doing it, is to just quit and give up. That's ultimately how you fail. But I wanted to dive into some of the causes behind it and why and how that won't be you, so that you can have an awareness of, oh, these are some of the, these are things that every person in this business deals with. And so I'm not the only one, so I don't have to close myself off in that bubble. But also how you can combat against that so that you have this under your belt, just another tool in the arsenal, right? So before we get into that, I'm going to hit up some announcements while we're getting everybody popped on. Make sure you're using the chat, you guys, throughout, and I will check that here at the end. First announcement is a recap of last week. Remember, $145 summit ticket special stops this Wednesday evening, October 31st. If you're going to be busy on Wednesday with kids and whatever festivities Halloween might have for you, make sure that you take care of this either tonight or sometime tomorrow. Make a note for yourself, because you don't want Halloween to pass and you get caught up with all the busyness of the holiday that you forget to do this. Remember, anybody on our team will get a free decal for your shaker bottle that says Team Inspire Beauty, gifted from me, but you have to be enrolled for Summit before November 1st. So you have 3 days left, y'all. Next announcement, I just posted this on the Rising Stars page, and I am super excited about it, you guys. I hope, I'm just sitting here giddy to see who all applies for this. It is open to any and all people who are on our team. I put it onto the Rising Stars page because that is really where our business builders are. But if you're watching this and you're not on the Rising Stars page and you're like, you know what though, I want to apply for this. I want to just take a leap. More power to you, sister. You can join us if you search Inspire Beauty Rising Stars on Facebook. You'll be able to find us. But what the November Diamond Apprenticeship is going to be, what I've decided is one person every month is going to work one-on-one with me throughout the month, get my personal attention for an hour a week in a Zoom, okay? This internship is only 4 weeks long, and it's designed to move your business forward towards Diamond, beyond Diamond, or hitting exactly at Diamond. So the sky's the limit for you, and it's up to you where you want to go in that 4-week internship, but it will require a one-on-one weekly Zoom check-in throughout November. It's application-based, like I said, so the link to apply is on the Rising Stars page, and I'm going to take applications through October 31st. That way, that's through Wednesday. On Thursday, I will sort through them, and then on Friday, I will announce who is the apprentice for November, and we will dive in on Monday. I think that's Monday, November 5th, and that'll go all the way for 4 weeks through Sunday, December 2nd, and then our next apprentice will pick it up to round out 2019. Now, the goal is not, I have to be Diamond in 30 days. So if you're sitting here and you're like, Brittany, I don't even see a feasible way to get to Diamond in the next 30 days, first of all, I need you to stop that small-minded thinking. That is small-mindedness, and you are already restricting yourself from something completely in your reach. So number one, cut that out. But number two, if you're sitting here saying, I don't see how I could do that in 30 days, but I want to try, right? And you have that I want to try mentality. Remember, it's not that you have to be Diamond by Sunday, December, whatever that is, 2nd. It's that you have moved your business forward for 4 weeks straight, and we did that one-on-one together. I want to be able to laser focus my attention that way rather than spread it out to the masses, but I want to get in and get down, get dirty, and give feedback and constructive business building behavior habits to people that truly want it. So make sure to apply. The application is super, super quick and easy. I think there's 3 questions in there. And it's pretty basic. So get that application in by Wednesday, and I can't wait to announce on Friday who that person is going to be for November to walk side by side with me. Let's dive into tonight's topic. So the thing is, you guys, this business is so simple. At its base, at its root, at its basics, all we do, you guys, is talk to people. It's all we do. We share our love of products, and we share our love of the team. And at its root, that's it. It is very simple. And so you might be like, well, Brittany, if it's so simple, like how come everybody on our team isn't at the top or always hitting Success Club or adding 2 coaches every month, right? If it's so simple, how come everyone isn't doing it? I think it's because we confuse the word simple with easy. This business is not easy. It's anything but easy. I am not going to sugarcoat to you guys the amount of work that I put in on a daily basis to building my personal business. And I know that every coach who is in the top of the network is not sitting back just like letting things fall from the sky. They are putting in the work. I will tell you with clarity that this business, if you stick it out, it will have moments of hard. There will be times where things are just hard. It will test you in ways that other jobs never could. Okay? Other jobs are not requiring me to get better so that I can pour into others and serve them, right? It's going to test you. You'll be required to dig deep. You have to learn resilience, how to get back up when you fall down, right? It'll be a roller coaster. And you'll have to be clear in this business on what you stand for, because there will be times when people might test that. In terms of boundaries, you have to get clear, laser focused on what is this boundary? What are your values? I was asked real quickly after last 2 Saturdays ago when we talked about our values, I was asked, what do you value? And the first thing that came out of my mouth was my family. My family, as in Frankie and Charlie, that is my number 1 top value. And so even this last weekend, guys, I had a very clear boundary set up in my life that my weekend was about my family. It was about Frankie. It was about Charlie. And I didn't let a text message, a comment, a like, any transactions in my online office, like none of that got my attention. It was all for my family because that was my value and I needed time to pour into that. And so I have had, guys, that didn't come overnight. That didn't happen on day 1 of my business. Over time, I've had to get very, very clear on what I stand for and what I want in this business. And guys, tonight, you're going to want to be taking notes. So I hope that you've got pen, paper out and that you're like seriously taking notes, because that's the other thing that this is really going to, there might be some tough love in this tonight, but you've got to understand that none of this is relevant at all if you're not like wanting and having a desire to move the needle forward. Okay. And I think like absorbing notes with this would be one of the biggest things to do. Guys, anything in life you want to do, you want to run an Ironman or run a marathon or train for something like this, you need to be prepared to train and then train some more, and you get knocked down, maybe you get injured, and then you have to figure out how to get better, and then you have to, revamp your training and then train more and more. It requires work. If you want to raise amazing children, now I've never done so, but I hear that you better be willing to be tested over and over and over again as a parent. If you want to grow a 6+ figure business, you better be willing to dig in, stretch yourself, work through good times, work through the bad times, right? All of these require you to show up for what it is you want. And that's the thing I highlighted here, want to, over and over and over again, because I want you guys to understand that your desire for something, the only way to get to the other side of that desire and to make it happen is to actually do the work, right? To do the crap, whether it's a good day or a bad day, whether your life is easy or it feels really hard, whether you're tired or whether you have tons of energy, right? So again, this business is simple. Let me break it down. You share about your journey. We share about our challenge groups. We share about our team. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's what we do. That's really what we do. And I put this silly looking horse here because the reality is, guys, your business requires you to have your mouth open. And this business is pretty cool because we don't have to always have our mouth open like necessarily, like throwing parties, like certain network marketing companies or direct sales, they have parties. And so they're required to like be in person. Really, when I say your mouth is open, I'm talking about like posting on social media and that sort of thing. It requires you to have conversations. Yeah. But even in public, when people are having conversation with you, asking you what you've been doing, asking you what that shaker bottle is, asking you what that yellow drink you're drinking is, asking you what that workout is if you're in a fitness center in the hotel gym, like it requires you to have your mouth open at all times. So it's really simple. So everybody that you talk to, you guys, fits into 3 buckets. Every single person we talk to. First bucket is going to be all the people who become our customers. They love our products. They love our challenge groups. They love the community. They love the accountability. They love you inspiring them as their coach. They love the journey. So those are our customers. And then there's the second bucket. And sometimes our customers, they love it so much, they see the vision so much that they want to be able to pay it forward too. And so those people become our teammates. But also there's people who maybe just look at this business and, like me, for example, I joined as a coach. I didn't know anything about Beachbody. I wanted to start this business. And so those people can also fit in that second bucket. It doesn't have to be a customer first. There can be people who simply just love the vision of your team that you are talking about and sharing about over and over and over again. And so those people can onboard as a teammate. And then like the last bucket, this is the bucket, you guys, where when people tell us, no, not right now, or no, it's not for me, these are people who can help refer you to someone else who needs your solution. So we don't discredit anyone. Every single person you talk to fits in one of those 3 buckets. Either they're perfect for your challenge group, they're perfect for your team, or they're perfect to get referrals from. So we don't discredit or discount anyone, okay? And so if it's that simple, right? Everyone fits into 3 buckets. All we have to do is share our journey, share about our challenge groups, share about our team, wash, rinse, repeat, keep our mouth open. If it's that simple, then why, again, Brittany, isn't everyone rocking it? Well, there are 4 reasons I'm going to talk about tonight. Reason number 1, they're not coachable. And I'm telling you guys this not only as maybe your personal upline, but I'm also telling you this as a leader or a future leader of other coaches. And I want you to understand this because as you onboard people onto your team and you are leading them, you have to understand that there are going to be coaches on your team that don't succeed. There will be coaches that don't succeed. There will be challengers you have that don't succeed. They will fall under one of these 4 categories or maybe more. Okay, so keep this in mind also. I don't want this to just be about gut checks for yourself, but I also want it to kind of free you from feeling like you're responsible for everyone, because you're not. No one ever joined this to be responsible for every living being on the planet, right? I can only handle myself, y'all. So, number 1, they aren't coachable. You have to be open to learning and applying a simple system. You guys, in the beginning of my business, I was not coachable, and my poor upline never told me that. And in fact, if she probably did, I probably would have gotten really mad. So I'm glad she never did. But I wasn't. I truly thought there was a different, better way that I could just figure out, and I'll do it myself, and I'll figure out how to have success, but I'm not going to follow all of Beachbody's vital behaviors. I'm not going to follow their stupid tracker. I don't need all that stuff. What power hour I'll do maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, whenever I feel like it. Guys, that did nothing for my business. I didn't have a business for my first 3 years, even though occasionally I'd hit Success Club. Occasionally I signed coaches. You guys, I got my account to Diamond by not being coachable. So Diamond didn't even mean, oh, Brittany's coachable all of a sudden. No, I was able to add teammates to my team and still think that I had a better way to do this. Trust and believe, there's a reason that I sat at Diamond for so long. My team suffered. I wasn't a great leader. Other people weren't having success, just maybe me sometimes, right? And so there was a reason for that. So if someone is not seeing success, guys, they're not. And I say this with lots of years of knowledge behind my belt. They're not following the system. And what's the system? It's easy, you guys. You wake up, you do your workout, you drink your shake, and you share about it, right? It's the vital behaviors. Number 2, right? You want to recognize and celebrate other people's success, whether it's in your challenge group, your team page, right? Number 3, you want to dive into personal development and get stronger in your mindset. And number 4, you have to have conversations and invite people to what it is you're doing. So that could include your power hour where you are adding to your network, connecting with new people, forming relationships, and then ultimately inviting and following up with people. If you're not seeing success, you are not following that system. And it's either due to a lack of trust in the system, like maybe you tried it for a week and you're like, well, that didn't do anything. I'm not at Success Club. Well, guys, trust the process. You have to trust the process. If you do a power hour at least 5 days a week, you will build a business. You will. but you have to give it time. So it could be due to a lack of trust, or it could be like in my case, I was arrogant enough to think that I could do it better. And at the end of the day, what did I end up falling back on? The vital behaviors. How did I end up seeing success? By following the vital behaviors. We all have zero experience when we start, you guys. So you have to take the time to learn the systems that others do for success. And those are all within, not only did we do an entire month training that is in the My Challenge Tracker app, we did Bosstober Bootcamp. All of those systems, every bit of system that I do is in that. Your systems are also in the Girl Boss Bootcamp page under all the unit tabs. All of the systems that I do for success are all there. They're all there. Nothing is a mystery. So if you, at least in the beginning of your business, plug yourself into training and take the time to learn those systems that others do, then you have so much more ability to then go out and follow that. But at first you have to know it, right? So you have to become a student of your profession. I am still a student of my profession. I'm still, how could I tweak this? How could I do that better? What is getting stale or stagnant in my business? How can I improve upon that? What's changing with the times? I'm always a student of my craft. And once you learn the basics, you guys, this is a really hard concept for me, but I wanted to put like Britney flair on it right away. I wanted it to like have a Britney shine and a Britney sparkle right away. But I wasn't invested in learning the basics. I just wanted to make the flair. But you can add the flair later once you learn the basics. So if you're not posting consistently, if you're not sharing your journey consistently, then you can't be adding flair to something that's not laying the foundation for a successful business, right? So make the commitment right now, like in your journal, in your notepad, make the commitment right now and write down, I am 100% coachable. Like write that for yourself. And if you're sitting here right now and you're watching this, and I can't really see you guys, but so I can't really see if you went to write or not. But if you didn't write it down and you don't really think you're coachable, guys, I love you so much, but nothing else that I say is going to matter, because you're never going to be able to move the needle forward if you can't just drop the ego a little bit. And I say this with all the love I have, only because I know what it's like to not drop the ego, but you have to do it. You have to drop that ego in order to be able to move your business forward. Second reason that somebody might not see success in their business is they're not treating it like a business. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. And a lot of us have shared goals that are more than hobby goals, right? And so I think it gets frustrating when you're like, well, this money is not doing much for me, right? This money isn't going to pay off my credit card payment this month, or my car loan, or my rent for the month, which a lot of us have shared as our goal with the money. If it's just hobby money, like a cup of coffee here, or maybe a tank of gas there, it might get frustrating for you after a while, especially if it feels like you're putting in a lot of work and you're not getting the return on investment. I don't think, you guys, that people actually think anymore that there's like pyramid schemes and get rich quick stuff. Like, I really don't think like you could actually con somebody into thinking that they could get rich quick with this. I don't think that. But what I do think is I think that too many people think that with this business being so out of the box, like it's not clock in, clock out, your manager is watching you, like, because it's a very out of the box model, a lot of us, I think, feel like we don't have to work. And the reality is, you guys, it's called network marketing, not net slacker marketing. Part-time business doesn't mean that you don't really work. It means that you have to do part-time hours with income-producing activities. So if you're just doing the like fluffy stuff, like I'm just posting on social media, but I'm not actually taking those posts and doing anything with it behind the scenes, or I'm just checking into my challenge group, but I'm not actually trying to add new challengers in or make my groups better for the next month, then you're not really doing anything to push your needle forward. If you're not hosting coach sneak peeks or prepping to host them, or doing sneak peeks in your story, or talking about the business opportunity, then of course you're not going to have anyone to invite when it comes time to invite to your coaching team, right? So you've got to do the work behind the scenes for all this stuff, even if it's just part-time hours, but it's got to be the income producing activities. You guys, it's like a store. Every store that I go to, they have a sign that says open when they're open for business. And sometimes I think we turn our sign around and it just says closed because maybe we don't post on social media for, 5 to 7 days. Maybe we're in our story and that's okay. But if we haven't posted on social media in over a week, your business is not open. Your business sign has to be open, guys. And I think it can be really easy to turn it around and forget to open back up. This business is built on consistent behaviors. So if you're not showing up consistently on social media, people aren't going to trust you. I don't know a single CEO of any company. Like I'm thinking Apple, Google, Facebook. Like I'm thinking bigwigs. I'm here in Silicon Valley. We got them all. I don't think any of them don't work. I'm pretty sure every CEO works. I can't think of a single job that if you got hired today and you just decided you wouldn't show up to work, that you wouldn't get fired from. But what's different is there's not going to be, I will never go to you and say, hey, I've noticed you haven't posted in 7 days. I'm not going to do that. That's not my job. I was even talking to Charlie yesterday about the difficult part of being a leader in this type of industry is that it's not my job to manage my team. It's not my job to manage anybody. I don't need to say, hey, show me your numbers. Hey, show me your tracker. Hey, I can inspire that out of you guys and I can make fun contests out of it every once in a while, but I'm not going to do like check-ins where I'm managing your business. Oh, you haven't posted on social media. Like you need to get on that, not my job. That is you not showing up. And so you've got to treat it like a business. 80% of your time, you guys, should be on building your own business. And this was a huge gut check for me at one point. They actually figured out from diamond to 15 star, I think it is. They looked at the percentage of time that those coaches spent working on their business versus helping their team and like mentoring their coaches, right? And diamond coaches, what they found the successful ones should be working on their business 90% of the time and 10% on their coaches. And then it went up. And by the time it got to 15-star diamond, you guys, you know what the percentages were? 50-50. 50% of the time on their business, 50% of the time on their teams. They're still, even at the tip top of this network, they are still investing 50% of their work hours to themselves and their own business moving it forward. They don't get stagnant. The reason we get stagnant is we have flipped that, where maybe we're giving 80% to the people who already bought, who already said yes, who already joined our team, and we're only giving a little bitty percentage to actually building ours. We can't do that, you guys. We can't do that. 80% of your time should be on building your own business and moving it forward. That includes talking to people, finding new customers, giving those brand new customers an incredible experience, finding new teammates, and then training your newbie coaches. After 30 days, you guys, after a month of being in the business, you should notice that your upline probably shouldn't have to or wouldn't need to talk to you as much anymore, because after 30 days in the business, you should now be equipped with the tools that you've been surrounded by to be able to move your business forward. 20% of the time should be on the rest of it. Posting, talking to coaches who are beyond 30 days into this business, right? But at times I think we have it flipped, and that can also be why you might feel stagnant in your business, is you're giving too much time and effort to the things that are not moving your business forward. Reason number 3, you guys, not willing to get uncomfortable. This business requires you to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and I believe at least in the beginning of anything new. So anytime you try something new for the first time, second time, 10th time, like it should still feel uncomfortable. Your very first Zoom that you host is going to be uncomfortable. Your very first power hour that you do, going to be uncomfortable. Your very first challenge group you host on your own, uncomfortable. Your very first new coach you sign that wants to build a business and actually hit Success Club, that's going to be uncomfortable. all of that will be uncomfortable. Even the second coach you sign that wants to build this business, maybe even the third coach, it's always going to be uncomfortable. Where I'm at in my business, I'm pretty comfortable onboarding new coaches onto our team. I'm comfortable inviting coaches. I'm comfortable onboarding coaches. I'm starting to get comfortable now because I've had good enough practice with it that I'm starting to become comfortable helping coaches advance to Emerald. But where I'm being now stretched is where I'm not comfortable is now advancing coaches to Diamond, Leadership, and beyond. Why? It's brand new for me. I have never done it. I've never advanced a coach on Inspire Beauty to Diamond. I've never helped anybody do that. So that's uncomfortable. An area I'm also being stretched right now is helping our coaches consistently hit Success Club, because that's something that's in this year alone a lot newer for our team. And so I'm saying this with like so much excitement because you guys, there are areas where you're like, Brittany, I'm so afraid to hit post on this. But you know what? There are things in my business that I do that I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable doing this. Creating that Diamond Apprenticeship, I'm really uncomfortable doing that. Why? Because I've never done it, and I don't know if anyone's going to apply. So far, you guys, you want to know how many times I've hit refresh on that application? Like, I think I put it up like 20 minutes before the Zoom, and I've already hit refresh on it prior to the Zoom like 3 or 4 times, and I saw big fat 0 responses staring back at me. And that's uncomfortable. So when I'm sitting here telling you that it requires you to get comfortable being uncomfortable, it's not, things aren't always going to be uncomfortable. It's not always going to be uncomfortable to invite. It's not always going to be uncomfortable to, to onboard a new coach. But the very first time or couple of times you do anything brand new, it will be uncomfortable. And then there will be a new level of uncomfortable in your business that you'll be able to like go after. Most of us have never done anything like this business, you guys. So it will be awkward at first. Like, embrace the awkward, share about it with the team, go to the team page and talk about like, oh my gosh, I did this today. Love some constructive feedback. I feel super awkward. Like, be real about it. I would love to hear that kind of stuff from you guys, because then we embrace that it's okay for things to not be so comfortable after all. I think too often business builders hide behind the getting ready to get ready. It's like they never give themselves a chance to fly before they take off. I've had plenty of coaches that have come into Inspire Beauty and I've said, oh my gosh, yes, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I want to do this. And they showed up and kind of tried some things maybe for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then that's it. I never hear from them again. Maybe they're still on the team. They'll probably never even hear the Zoom, quite honestly. They might have already quit our team at this point. But the saddest thing of all is they just never even gave themselves a chance to fly because they wouldn't take off. A lot of times in my business especially, I would do things that made me feel like I was building a business. Like I'd make these binders, you guys. I'd make these binders of all our different products and programs and try to like act like this was something that was going to be a great tool for me when I sat face to face with a prospect. You know how many times I used that binder I created, you guys? Once. I took it with me to get drinks with a girlfriend, and you know what she did when I brought the binder out? She laughed in my face and told me to put the binder away. She didn't want to hear about my binder and my products. She wanted to hear about what it had done for me in my life. So the binder I built, used it one time, got laughed in my face and told to put it away, never to come out again. I wasted time doing that. I've wasted time setting up an office. I've wasted time color coding things. I've wasted time watching a ridiculous amount of YouTube videos only to not actually take action on any of it. And I can't tell you how many lists of people I'm going to invite that I've made and remade only to never actually invite those people. So stop doing the work that feels like work, but it's just really busy work and it's fluff to kind of block out the fact that you're too afraid to send the invite. Get uncomfortable. I think if we have the mentality, guys, that if we earn as we learn, it will help us to move things faster, right? A lot of times it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to post on social media until I go through all of da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to post on social media until I go through all the basics and learn everything. And then I'll start inviting people to my challenge group. And it's like, no, you've got to just sometimes you just have to throw yourself out there in this business. Mistakes in this business show you're willing to grow. If there is not a mistake you've made since the last Monday night when we talked last, man, you're not trying hard enough. You are not trying hard enough if you haven't made mistakes. Make them and then go celebrate them. If we can get rid of this idea that like courage and fear are like the opposites, I think that would help. Because fear isn't the opposite of courage. It's not like, oh, Brittany's so courageous, she must not have fear. No, I am courageous because I embrace the fear and I go anyway. I still feel it. Doesn't mean that I'm not brave or courageous if I feel the fear. The difference is I take action on it, right? And the last reason, you guys, is oftentimes coaches just simply aren't hungry enough. There's a reason why we ask you often, your upline, higher up coaches in the business will ask, what's your why? It's not because it sounds fancy and it's just like fun to say and roll off the tongue. It's so important. If you don't have a why that like makes you get emotional when you talk about it, you're not hungry enough. And what happens is life will kick you in the butt. At some point, life will happen during this business. And when life happens, that's when a lot of people fizzle out. Because we all have access to all the training that's ever been made. We all have access to these Zooms. We all have access to the resources. We all have access to these awesome tools. And people can be coachable. We can know that they're willing to learn. Maybe they're consistent. But the real indicator for me, especially with my coaches, my clients, when I know that somebody is truly ready for this, they truly want this, it's that when life happens, they don't run away. I'll say that again. When life happens, they don't run away. Business can get moved down to the bottom of the list of priorities when life happens. And I'm not saying, you guys, that this, because I talked about it, values are important to me. This business went to the bottom of my list of priorities this weekend, and that was calculated and purposeful. That wasn't a retreat mechanism or a defense mechanism. Charlie's father passed away in September, and I showed up to my business. We moved in September, and I showed up to my business. In September, I had a lot of coaches quit this business, and I still showed up to my business. So even when life happens, that doesn't necessarily mean like you still show up super hard. Yeah, it might get switched. It might get moved around. Things might not look like they normally do when you can give your full-on effort, but the business can't get removed. You can't stop pushing for what you really want. This is your ticket out, you guys, of what troubles you. If you have an elephant on your chest that keeps you up at night, you can get out of that by sticking with this. You're not only continuing to foster healthy habits in your life, but you'll also be able to dig yourself out of the life that you don't want. There's so many teachers I talk to nowadays who are like, oh, I hate teaching. I hate this. I don't get paid enough. Blah, blah, blah. I think I'm going to go look for a new job. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you literally have this right at your fingertips. Like, do this while you teach. That's what I did. I knew that that wasn't what I wanted. And so I showed up every day so that I could dig myself out of it. But you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do whatever it takes to make this work? And you've got to figure out what that looks like for you. I'm not saying that you need, I know coaches who've had cancer, who had 2 children, no health care insurance because they walked away from their job to be on maternity leave. So they had an infant child and a 2-year-old, no health care insurance, and they didn't stop working this business because this was their ticket out. They had to make it work. I know people who have retired their husbands so their husbands can now do what it is that they want to do. I know people who they want to be able to drop their kids off at the bus in the morning and be able to be at every event and not have to send a babysitter or grandma. So they do that. Maybe, I don't know what that is for you. And it doesn't have to be something that is like so thrilling and over the top, but it has to be yours and you have to own it. I've been tired and worried and disappointed in this business, but I've also had little moments, you guys, where I see victories. I see little victories or big victories, and they show me how amazing this opportunity is that's right in front of me, and I don't give up. So you've got to figure out what it is that you really want, and it has to be important enough to you that you'll stay committed and consistent no matter what life throws at you, because life will throw things at you. Life will happen, but it's what you do. And it's, if you're hungry enough, why you'll stick around. So to follow up tonight, I'd encourage you guys to figure out, first of all, what do you want in this business? Like, do a little question for yourself. What do I really want? And don't be small. Think big. Nothing is out of reach. Nothing. Figure out also what's holding you back. Maybe something tonight spoke to you. Like, oh, that is a little something that might be holding me back. Pinpoint those things. That way you're aware of them. I am aware that I'm really good at, like organizing a cute little office and not actually doing my power hour. I'm really good at that. I was really good at trying to create new systems when Beachbody already had great ones in place. I was really good at that. And so I had to figure out those things. And there are times when Brittany slips back into that, and I have to be like, no, Brittany, you're slipping back into that area that's holding you back. It's not going to push you forward. And then I encourage you to take it another step further and share that with your upline or your accountability partner, somebody that you trust with that information and that can hold you accountable to reminding you of what you really want when times get hard. So that, tough love Brittany is my favorite Brittany. We all are, Miriam. I could watch a good YouTube. I've forced myself now, if I'm in front of my computer, I'm not allowed to watch videos anymore. I have to be doing it on the go, whether it's in a car or while I'm walking or something. So that way, because that wouldn't be times when I'm like able to do the other activities. Any questions? Got a couple minutes left.
What'd you say about being courageous? Be courageous and embrace the fear. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that I think oftentimes we think courage and fear are the opposites, and they're not. In order to have courage, you're still going to have fear. You just do the thing anyway. You face it anyway. It's my main man.
And speaking of being courageous, right? The ferocious one.
Yeah.
This was great, Britt. So many things. You were sitting here talking to me again. So thank you. Because I've got some things I need to write down. I need to face them because I know it's me.
It's so true. This business requires us to continually improve ourselves and but also to give ourselves grace too, you guys. Like, realize that like not everything is like a finger pointed, right? That it's also, I also wanted to say at the beginning that I'm equipping you to be able to see these patterns in your future coaches as well as your clients too, to free yourself of feeling like you've failed at somebody's attempt at being successful, right? I am going to snap a pic real quick before it cuts us off. Yep, everybody knows, fix your face, fix your hair. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Yay! All right, ladies, go to the Rising Stars, apply for the apprenticeship. I can't wait to refresh it and see who applies tonight. Don't make me so sad. Have a good night, everybody.